May Allah protect us and give us the best of this dunya and hereafter. May Allah keep us steadfast always and ever. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين. Beloved brothers and sisters, the topic which has been chosen is one of the most sought after topics of current. And the topic itself is very sensitive, but very important. The information related to that is very common and widely known. The issues surrounding the topic are so many, and especially, at least for the Muslims, this is our daily talk for more than 4 months now, since last year, October. So the title related to this topic is what should Muslims do, or what we should know and how we behave related to the current conflict of Palestine. We can come on that from various angles. We will try to cover within the given time, if not all, then most of it, and important ones from it also, inshallah. First of all, Ardu Sham wa Palestine, the land of Sham, which includes Lebanon, Syria, Urdun, Jordan, and Palestine, of course. All of these is Ardu Sham, land of Sham. From it, Palestine is our focus, though most of it or many of these things will be related to the entire Sham. Ardu Palestine, the country called Palestine, which includes currently what has been taken by the Jews and referred to Israel. Then we have Gaza and other places, small patches. All of these originally are from the land of Palestine. In Palestine, the most important part related to the land, otherwise the most important are the people, the Muslims there. That is Baytul Maqdis. Baytul Maqdis is the third most important masjid in Islam. قال الله تعالى سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. It is a place from where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam went above the 7 heavens in that miraculous journey of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. It is the place where all the prophets were gathered, all of them. We only know by name 25. All of them, they gathered there, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam laid as an imam a salah for them, prayers. It is the first qibla of the Muslims. 15, 16 months while in Medina, and even before that from Makkah. Baytul Maqdis is a place where you pray, your rewards are extras compared to other normal masajid. Some narrations indicate 500, some 250 times more. It is one of those 3 masajid which we can travel to biqasd as-salah fi, masafat as-safar, where we can take a journey of safar, distance of 80 kilometers or more, based on the differences or less, only for the purpose of praying in it. Meaning that For example, you are not allowed to travel from Mecca to Medina to pray in a different normal masjid. But you are allowed to travel from Mecca to Medina or from your home to Mecca or to Medina to pray in Al-Masjid al-Haram. So this is in Palestine. It is Mahbat al-Wahi. It is a place where lots of Wahi came. It is Maqarr al-Anbiya. So many prophets were there. Point to be noted is also that Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam, Yaqub ibn Ishaq ibn Ibrahim, the one who is referred to as Israel. So those who followed him were called Banu Israel and also Yahud. The point to be noted is those who deserve him, those who are considered as part of him are the believers. It's not that the ethnicity which makes you qualify for that. No. Another important point to be noted is that the first ones by record who lived in Palestine were Al-Kana'aniyun, and they are from Arabs. So the first residents of Ardu Palestine are Arabs, and that is about 8,000 years ago from today. 6,000 years before Jesus, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Al-Yahud, who as we know are from after Yaqub, they came late, more than 1,000 years late. 1,000 plus years late. So what does this mean? It means that if we say that the ones who came there and lived first are the residents or the legal residents, then they are Arabs based on this. But this is not what is to be considered. What is to be considered is that that place is for Ahlul Iman, those who believe in Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and are known to be a Muslim. So even Arabs, if they don't believe in Islam, that is not their place. However, while saying that, it does not mean that Yahud and Nasara and other types of mushrikun, they are not allowed to be residents there. It's not that. The case of Palestine is, we all know after, especially after October 7, 2023, people, they started to do a lot of research to find out about Palestine, which includes me and you. We all know that how the Zionists, as-Sahayina, they have been able to, in this past 100 years plus, manipulate gradually, little by little, till they were able to take Palestine and then take parts of Palestine and from it, Beit al-Maqdis and whatever, in this situation of the current. Few important points to understand of the current. First of all, that land belongs to the Palestinians. And Al-Yahud, those who migrated or those came from other regions, it doesn't belong to them. That's point number one. The land has been taken with manipulative systems and by force. And many times, hundreds and thousands of people losing their lives, which we already see even today, genocides and ethnicity cleansing and so forth. That's how they've been able to take more of those land before, and that's what they are trying to do now. Before October 7, Netanyahu, he went to the UN meeting with a map of Israel. And all of this land, which still belongs to Palestine, apart from where they put the map as Israel, it was all there in front of UN that this is Israel. Nobody said anything. No one in the United Nations said, look, what you are doing, this is not right. This land belongs to them. No, nobody. And then they were planning to come and attack and take over Gaza. Before they were able to implement that, Al-Mujahideen, they, after finding out, they thought that the best is we go and protect ourselves. Then they went to attack and fight, but not civilians, not innocent people, not women, not children, as we know. Those 1,400 or so people who lost their lives after the episode of 7th October, they were not killed by Mujahideen. They were killed by the Israeli army, by them, and now it's all open and clear. From here, it's very clear when they say Israel has the right to defend themselves. Defend themselves from what? Why to defend? They are the ones who are the oppressors. They are the ones who are killing and genocide and all these things. So many people, they use this as a way to give them a leeway and legality. These are some of the things. I'm pretty sure you people know more than this. So up to here, I finished related to just giving you these scenarios. We have been following news every now and then. And they are repeatedly, continuously doing the same crimes in new styles. Around 3 days ago, when all these help through the helicopters were put down for them to take it, many of these Palestinians were invited, here, come, lots of musa'ada, not lots of help, food, this, come and take it. And they were gathered in one place, and then again the Israeli army, they killed them, they sprayed bullets on them, and about 150, they became Sahib at that point. You know what really caught me on that? That one of the brothers, he was shot then, he was dying. And he had a plastic of flour with him. And he said to one beside him, he said that if I lose my life, take this and give it to my 4 daughters who are at home waiting for it. They are hungry, they are crying with no food. Please give it to them. This is the scenario. This is what is happening right now. 2 million Muslims are seized and cleansed, murdered, massacred, tortured, deprived from water, food, medical supply, from humanitarian needs, which even all the disbelievers, non-Muslims, they agree they should get it, but they are not getting it. And here we have got 2 billion Muslims about, and we are not able to do anything. The point to be noted is what can be done. Of course, if we talk in the reality of it, what should be done, then first of all, of course, the war to be stopped. And all their needs to be fulfilled. And then the rest of the things will come after. That's point number 1. Point number 2, not everybody can make this happen, which I just said. It is not on individual people like me and you to accomplish this. This thing belongs to people of power, such as countries and those who command power from individuals. They are the ones who can make this happen. Now, us as general public, within our general public, those who are ammatunas, general public, awam, common people. Then there are those who are the elites, such as scholars, mashayikh, those people who have got lots of money, those people who are educated, if not in Islamic, then in other things. For example, these are the kind of people, every one of us, we have a different role to play. In general, first of all, it is the dua, which we all can. Dua individually and dua al-qanut. Education, teaching people, and learning about Palestine, such as what we are doing now. Teaching it to others, beginning of that from home. Creating awareness at home of what Palestine is and what it should be. Creating awareness to your neighbors, to your friends, to anyone you come in contact with. Creating awareness in your masjid, such as if you are an imam or you get an opportunity to give a lecture somewhere about Palestine. Very important. So it's a ta'allum wa ta'lim, upbringing of the next generation with the awareness of the reality of Palestine. Very important. As much as you try, you are able to do it, you try, related to such as getting the information to your government, putting the information, some may say through a way of campaign, it could be through statistics, it could be through emails, it could be through people going as a delegation to the MPs, to the mayors, to the prime ministers, and telling them the reality and really, end of the day, when these kind of things happens, people, they start to, act on it at times. It doesn't have to happen always. I really feel sorry for that American soldier. Sorry is the only word I can say, because we don't know whether he became Muslim before dying or not. What we don't know, we can't say. Doubtful, he must have been, he may not have been a Muslim, so we can't make dua that may Allah forgive our sins. But I feel bad for him. He died for Palestine. He said, free Palestine. He saw things which were happening. He was part of those who did the stuff. And then he realized that what he's doing is all wrong. So I'm not saying that we do those kind of things. It's haram in Islam. We can't do it. But we can educate people. We can inform them. And then on top of all of this, we know that the rights our Palestinian brothers have on us is huge. On that basis, I would like to create this ragba, desire, create this energy, taqa, create this ego in us, positive one, acceptable one, so that we promote this mission to all. As we know what is happening there, let us see some of the evidences in general related to these kind of things. The most famous is حبست المرأة في هرة دخلت المرأة النار في هرة حبستها. This known hadith that a woman, she ends up in the hellfire. Hadith Sahih. What did she do? She chained a cat. Just chained her. Did not feed her, did not give her water, and did not release her so she can go and take care of herself by herself. Where does she go? Nari Jahannam. Who did she kill or took part in it in whichever way? Hirra, cat, you heard me right. Not one human being, not thousand, not hundreds of thousands, millions of Muslims we are talking about. Good amount of them totally innocent babies, children, women folk, extremely old and fragile people, extremely sickly people, totally dependent on modern facilities, being in ICU, sorry. And look what they are going through. So if this is the case of one woman and one hero, what is going to happen to them? And if we don't do what we are supposed to do, then what is going to happen to us? Before I forget, apart from ad-du'a, the education, creating awareness, we need to do sadaqah, spend on them through channels which will get it there to them, inshallah. So what about all these millions of people who are protecting their country, protecting their honor, protecting their chastity, protecting their family, protecting their wealth? And we say they don't have the right to do that? And we say that they are the ones who are the terrorists? And we go, not us, you know the form of speech, they go and they kill them, massacre them, and find all the reasons, and the so-called superpowers are either quiet or they are directly or indirectly supporting them. We all know that. Another known hadith, المرأة التي كانت تؤذي جيرانها. Woman in Medina, two Sahabiyat, Muslimat. Sahabiya, imagine being a Sahabiya. The qualification of being a Sahabiya in itself is way above anything which we have. One qualifies for Jannah, another one for hellfire. Bishahadati Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah himself, he said it. So for the first one, who goes to Jannah, Jahannam, Nari Jahannam, hellfire. The Sahabas, they said, Ya Rasulullah, this woman, you know, she prays, she gives sadaqah, so much of good, in extras. غير أنها تؤذي جيرانها. But she is harmful to her neighbor, probably verbally or physically, or throwing rubbish on them, or it could be shouting and creating lots of noise. It could be so many other things. أتعرفون ماذا قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم? Do you know what he said صلى الله عليه وسلم? هي في النار, she is in hellfire. The other one who was doing good, not in so much of excess such as the first one, but غير أنها لا تؤذي جيرانها, but she was nice and kind to her neighbor. أتعرفون ماذا قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم? هي في الجنة, she's in the Jannah. Subhanallah. Now imagine from this and take it there. I'm not going to talk about the Yahud and what they are supposed to do and the Sahina and Al-Mushrikin. I'm going to talk about me and you. If we are their neighbors, same land, just borders, or any other thing, and we are able to support them, which we should do it, and we are not doing it. This woman was just unkind to her neighbor, and look, Nar Jahannam. Here, thousands and tens of thousands of people are killed and massacred, tortured. What is going to happen to these people who are not doing their duties? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. What about this hadith? You know, this is also authentic. A man, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day and he said, Ya Rasulullah, you know, I have a neighbor, and this neighbor is this. The meaning is, you know, how bad neighbors can be, right? If you want to take it on the current, for example, like a neighbor who blocks the driveway if it is shared driveway, or instead of parking in his area, he parks in yours. Or when he comes late at night, he's very loud, opens music loud at night when all the neighbors are sleeping, or so many other things. All these are Iza al-Jiran. So here, this man, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said this to him. So he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Isbir, have sabr, patience. So he comes back again and again. So Al-Jiran, the neighbor, is not fixing himself up. You know what he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? Akhrij mata'aka ila tariq. Take your stuffs, belongings, and put it on the road. He did it. Rasulullah said it, so he did it. He put his stuffs on the road, and now people are going. They look, what is this, brother? Why your stuffs are all here? You know, in modern time, what it will be. Brother, why is your laptop here? Why is the desk here? What happened to you? Why is your bed here on the road? What happened? You know? So he told them that this is my Jiran and he's doing this, and Rasulullah told me to do this. People, they started to curse that neighbor and talk bad about him and make dua. Now the neighbor is listening and watching probably also and listening. Definitely he did the two. Because then he came quickly and said, please, I will la udhik about it. I will not be like this to you again. Please come back. Now, imagine from this that this neighbor was just not very good to him and what he sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him to do. Now look at what is happening to our brothers and sisters all over in Palestine. And in so many other places, that's not the only place. Look at what happened in Rohingya. Look at what happened in China and still is happening. Still in Rohingya, it is happening. Look at what is happening to the brothers and sisters in Syria, in Sudan, in Afghanistan, in Kashmir, and so many other places. Almost anywhere you see battles going on and ethnicity cleansing or whatever, it's always or almost always Muslims. They are the ones who are suffering. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم من آوى محدثا فعليه لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين. That whoever supports a muhdith, meaning someone who does something bad, he stole, he murdered, he killed others, he has taken land of people by force, he is oppressing people. So if you go and support that person in any way, like, oh, you can come and stay with me, or like, no, don't worry, you carry on and I will give you my protection. Don't worry. You have my back. You have my back. I'll protect your back. I'll make sure that nothing happens to you in UN meeting or something. You know, all this kind of whatever it is. فَعَلَيْهِ what? لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ وَالْمَلَائِكَ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. The curse of Allah and the angels and the people are on him. So imagine when a person is mustahiq, deserves the kiss of Allah Azza wa Jalla, what is going to happen to them? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ya akhi, ya ukhti, you know, when Medina and Mecca has been made as haram, you are not allowed to cut the trees or disturb it or things like that, and all these just trees, which if anyone does, then the curse of Allah is on them. La'natullah wal malaik wal nas ajma'in. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, zawal dunya ahwanu inda Allah min safki dami muslim wahid. That the entire dunya to collapse is more easy to Allah than the blood of one Muslim. And here, how many we are talking about? While I'm speaking right now, so many may have died by well, in the duration of this speak of mine. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Da'watul mazlumi mustajaba, فإنه ليس بينه وبين الله حجاب. A mazlum, the one who is oppressed, his dua is accepted and it's direct. There is no hijab, no barrier between them and Allah Azza wa Jalla. There are so many other evidences I would have liked to present, but I also like to keep my time factor with me, and I don't want to go more than what is allocated. But from these few evidences which I have given from others which are here, it shows, first of all, that inshallah, Ahlul Palestine in other places, wallahi, if they are dead, inshallah, we pray that it is a shahada for them. Also that it does not go unnoticed by Allah. If not today, then tomorrow, the justification there will come from Allah Azza wa Jalla. If not in this world, then definitely, absolutely in the end, in hereafter. Also, remember, from these evidences which I have given, the importance of our role, we as mankind and we as Muslims, it is very important for us to do whatever is within our capacity. I fear that we may become the victims of the la'an, the case of these people. I fear that we may become victims because they raised their hands, pleading to Allah, and we did not hear it. I fear that Yawm al-Qiyamah, we find that we are failing to make it to the Jannah because we did not do enough within our capacity of what we could have done. You know, when we hear stories of Palestine and other places, yesterday I sort of lost my control, and it's only good that one time I was driving, which wasn't very good, and one time I was in the office here. You can't control yourself from crying. You feel so helpless. You want to do so much, but you don't know what to do about it. This is what the majority of the Muslims are. Not only Muslims, non-Muslims. But for them, they just hear the news and pass on, and apart from a few. But for Muslims, we are suffering from it. Let this event become a reason for us to become better Muslims. Work harder to make more money to send it to our brothers so that they are able to get some food and water. And, you know, we have oversupply of water, oversupply of food. We are dying from overeating and they are dying from no eating. We have got surplus of everything. Wallahi, it's not that we don't want to share it with them. I'm almost certain if they come, we will share everything at home with them. But We have no hila. We have no power to get it to them. As I said, we feel helpless, and we are, in a way, helpless. But Allahumma ma'ana, Allahu mawlana, wala mawla lahum. Allah is our mawla, and they don't have Allah with them, those who are oppressing Ahl Palestine and others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on all of us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect these brothers and free them as soon as possible. Ameen. Wa jazakumullah khairan wa barakallahu fikum.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. Now dear brothers and sisters, the floor is open for question and answers. So you can directly ask your question to the Sheikh, or you can type in the chat window, please.
It looks like no questions, isn't it?
I think Brother Abdullah Al-Masum's got his hand up for a question. Go ahead, Brother Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Jazakallah
Well,
for yours. Yes. My question is, in general, we are not allowed to curse others. I mean, saying lana for others. But when we are making dua, when we are doing kunut, can we say lana, for example, Allahumma illam turid hidayat Allahum fal'anhum la'nan kabira, like this type of dua? Can we say this?
Allahumma what? Say it again, the dua.
Illam turid hidayat Allahum fal'anhum la'nan kabira, like this type of dua. Can we make this?
Yes. You said that if they are not going to be from Ahlul Hidayah to be guided, then Allah curse them. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. There is no problem in that, Ya akhi.
Jazakallah khair.
Because this is from the ayat and hadith also, and what we can see there. So you can make that dua, definitely. Barakallah fiqh. Jazakallah khairan, ya akhi.
Sheikh, I had a question. So my question is, where I think one of the due to the Palestine, obviously the recent conflict, we see there are lots of videos coming on TikTok, and these are obviously the Muslims' conditions, which are very humiliating, and this is being spread across the world. There are a lot of Muslims are spreading this, and now I'm coming across people who are it doesn't look like it's taking them closer to Islam, even the Muslims, because they, due to the failure of some Muslims, they are not coming closer to the religion, or say they are blaming some Muslims or Muslim rulers, or they are looking at the Israelis being overpowering over the whole world. Even some of them, to the extent that they are thinking like no one can overcome them. And I see it is very demeaning to the Islamic belief, because obviously Allah is the superpower, Allah has control over everything. And so I've got two questions. One is he allowed to spread this sort of videos where the Muslims are being humiliated? And the other one is regarding those who are taking their knowledge from TikTok and other platforms. What's the Islamic view on that?
First of all, there is a lot of issues related to videos, right? And many of those things are coming, which is un-Islamic, not what is happening, but the content itself as a video, people watching women and all these things. This shouldn't be happening. And that's why I try to avoid as much as possible. And many of these things, which I, for example, said it's from the lectures and khutab from the members, from the mashayikh who give lectures. That's what I would listen to. And even if I'm listening to the news, I try my best not to see the video. That's point number one. Point number two, and if it is added with the music, then that's another issue, which is bad on bad. And then thirdly, people, unfortunately, they get educated from mass media. Previously, it was BBC and whatever CC there was. Now, things have changed to Facebook and now the most current TikTok. People that do not realize that by going through this, they get manipulated, their mind manipulates based on it. And they may get wrong information. First of all, we shouldn't be educated through it. Secondly, it may take them to the wrong direction, which shouldn't be. Thirdly, we should be hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa natawakkal ala Allah. We put our belief in Allah Azza wa Jalla, and we keep on asking Allah and keep on pleading Allah. And we know that وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُم وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. That whatever hardships we go through, it is because of our own doing. So instead of having a blame game on each other, we blame ourselves for the cruelty or the difficulties we are going through and ask Allah for forgiveness. That's point number one. Point number two, when the adab of Allah comes to any qawm, any people, in general, it will not be only to those who have been doing bad. It will come as a general for everyone in the region. So the good people, it will be like kafara, expiation for them. And the bad people, it will serve as a forgiveness for the sin at the same time. And elevation of darajat for the innocent ones, of course. So all these kind of things are to be taken on board. And for people to get demotivated and think that Allah is not going to bring down the Nasr is all wrong. And many people that think that Al-Yahud are the superpowers and nobody is able to beat them up or anything. Look what is happening right now in Palestine. They are not winning. They are that massacring people, innocent ones. They are not able to go and face the Al-Mujahideen. They have been in total failures when it comes to that. And so, inshallah, as if not today and not tomorrow, then definitely after tomorrow, meaning that a day will come when the victory will be there and people will, inshallah, start living a more peaceful life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala.
Sheikh, I've got a question regarding the situation and how the youth react to it. So I just wanted to just gauge your opinion and stance on, a lot of youth Muslims obviously watching the news and the suffering of our brothers and sisters. They don't know what to do and they don't have an avenue to take out their frustration. So they go out. Like I wanted to ask you, what's your stance on going on these demonstrations where that seems to be a big trend in the Muslim Ummah? Like, what are you going to do for Palestine? We're going to go to demonstrations where there's free mixing and a lot of fitna. Jazakallah khair.
Even when you started the question, I knew what you are going to ask. I just felt that this is what you want to know. Look, the scholars have big time, hugely disputed this when it comes to al-mudaharat and going out and protesting and all those things. And then whether it is for Islamic countries or non-Islamic also, and then whether it is acceptable sometimes and rejected the other times, and whether it is for a purpose which is, within the limits of Islam, or it is for a purpose which is not. And then every of these parties, they have their own evidence, and they stand strongly to their view with the evidences which they have. And unfortunately, many of these protests, as you have said, that goes out of the hand, or there is free mixing there, and so many un-Islamic things in it. And that's why I totally keep out of it, and I don't promote it, and I don't give the fatwa that we do those kind of things. I never tell people go into it. But we also need to understand the other side of it, and that those people who are doing it, just by doing it, there are fatwas who say, so if a person is doing protest and he becomes a kafir, he's a muqtadir, he is a disbeliever, he has committed bid'ah, a major kabira. We just have to be careful of those fatwas also. We just have to be careful. They have got their scholars and who have given this fatwa based on the evidences which stands strongly for them. And one of them is this hadith which I just mentioned about Amin Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Akhrij mata'ak ila tariq, take your things and put it on the road." And they say it's a form of protest. So we have to be careful of this, and if we are not doing it because that's what we see as the right thing, there are other correct ways to get things done. But if people with correct ways are not getting anywhere or not doing it, then those who are doing something, we should be careful how we react to them. We have to be very careful. We have to be productive, and not that if someone is doing something where scholars may have differed, and they have their own ground to cover, and then we try to, bring the fight on our backyard instead of fighting the real enemy. So we do have to be careful. Hopefully this makes you understand what I'm saying.
Jazakallah khair.
Yes, as I said it clearly that I'm not in any way supporting that, but how we react to those who do, we have to be careful. Jazakallah khairan.
Sheikh, I know that we have arranged this event, and one of the reasons were to invite new students to IUU who pursue studies with IUU. Now, one of the reasons that we have chosen this topic, because obviously it's relevant and to the current world. How is this event, the recent conflict, has got anything to do with studying Islam? Why would someone be interested in linking the event in Palestine? Because as Brother Huram, he said that the people are going to these protests and watching videos on, or getting educated through different platforms online. How the IOU's courses that's being offered has got anything to do with the recent world conflict?
Okay, a good question. The answer can be many. One of that is that since the October 7th, I myself have experienced the number of people who revert Islam are way more, and those who came to me because of this event and asked about Islam and are curious and want to find out more, and then they end up becoming Muslims. I myself saw that. So what is happening in Palestine has become a reason for many to find the truth. From the same level, or even better, is that then the Muslims, those who seek the truth and want to find out what is happening there and why it is happening, they end up reading, they end up researching. One thing leads to another, and they end up, okay, if this is the case, I should educate myself. I should have more knowledge of Islam. Exactly like that person, he reverted to Islam. There will be those, inshallah, who will, these minor researchers here and there, leads them to become a good researcher, and that's learning Islam. It can happen. We never know. And then also choosing a topic in itself, which may attract others to come and listen and see what really it is. It's a good way of attracting people, and at the same time, it's like a masterpiece of advertisements, that where you use words which will attract others to come to what you want to get them know, what you want them to know. Jazakallah khairan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sheikh Anwar. My name is Lukman. So I live in Coventry at the moment. Originally from Indonesia. I just want to ask, what's your opinion? I'm just observer, and actually I did study defense and security before for my master's in management, and I'm quite like interested with international politics, security, and but alhamdulillah now I'm studying Islamic finance at IOU. It's just like I see some like I'm sometimes I observe social media, and I see like of course yeah there are many ulama, and some ulama even in my country Indonesia and UK we are inviting people to pray for Palestine, right, for the peoples there, but very rarely Muslims ulama, I think this is my opinion, I just want to know your opinions. Very rarely Muslim ulama prays for Muslim warriors to be able to fend off the aggressions of Israel, of these Jewish, because I think, but I've seen a lot of like, I try to follow the Jewish rabbis, their ulamas. Many of them are praying for the Jewish and Israel soldiers for the winning, the victories of them. It's like in our side, it's like I don't know why. Is it like people are afraid to pray and then afraid to express the counter insurgency, counter aggressiveness of Israel or what? This is just my opinion. But in their side, they really feels so. They really feels in their side they're right to express it freely about praying or praising their soldiers, even for invading and then doing this kind of so-called genocide. This is just like I want to ask your opinion. I'm sorry. Maybe some people maybe with yeah. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fiqh. First of all, there are many people, many khutaba, which includes myself also. Every time we make dua for Palestine and Beit al-Maqdis, and I've been doing it for years. Almost every khutbah will make this dua. That may Allah free Beit al-Maqdis, and may Allah give us the opportunity to pray there and the rest of the Muslims. So the dua is very, very much known and widely done. It may not be done by some places, and for whatever reasons, there can be too many reasons, as you know. Any normal practicing Muslim would love openly to make dua and create awareness amongst others related to that. But it is not possible everywhere for various reasons, which I'm pretty sure you all are aware of. So let us not start mentioning those things here, but we already know. And then, yes, there are those who don't make the dua, don't create awareness, maybe out of laziness, or they are not bothered by it, but they would be very few, Yahi. So, as I said, majority of us would be doing it, and those who don't do it, then there may be some reasons behind which is making them not being able to do it. As I said, many times we feel helpless. Allahumma musta'an. Jazakallah khairan, ya akhi. No further questions, it looks like, mashallah. Jazakallah khair wa barakallah fikum. I'll conclude it here and I'll leave it to the brothers to finish it up, inshallah. In the end, I make dua that may Allah Azza wa Jalla bless us, which I have started with in the beginning. May Allah give us the best of this dunya and hereafter. Ameen. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم إنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين الذين يجاهدون في سبيلك لإعلاء كلمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انقذ المسجد الأقصى من براثين اليهود الغاشمين وارزقنا الصلاة فيه قبل الممات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انصر أهل فلسطين، اللهم انصرهم عاجلا غير آجل. اللهم ارزق الشهادة ممن مات منهم واشفي مرضاهم وارحمهم واعف عنهم يا رب العالمين. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم وحد بين صفوف المسلمين وشتت الكفر والملحدين وفرج جمعهم وشتت شملهم. سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. And I think we can now end the session here, inshallah. Brother Manzoor, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to our brothers in the student committee to just to remain once everyone is out. So just wanted to have a quick discussion about something. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Barakallah fiqh. So it's all
Jazak-
done for me, right?
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, for your time and
Okay.
for the lecture today.
Jazakallah.
May
Okay.
Allah bless.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.